Georgia may not be thrilled with its postseason destination, but based on Wednesday's National Signing Day, the future is still so bright for the Bulldogs. I'm joined by my coworker Connor Riley from Dog Nation. Connor, give me just your big picture takeaways from this 2024 signing class for Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia may not have won the last game they played, but they absolutely win signing day. #1 overall class already locked up, 3 5-star prospects, and I think one of the most important targets in this 2024 signing class, KJ Bolden, started the day as a Florida State commit, ends the day as a Georgia signee. A huge win for this Georgia program. Getting a safety like that who can come in and play right away, not too dissimilar from Malachi Starks, is a huge win for this Georgia program as they continue to build up and add players for a very difficult 2024 schedule.
Here's Georgia coach Kirby Smart on this signing class overall, and especially Bolden and how multifaceted this guy is.
And I'm really excited about this class. Obviously, it started, long before this time last year. 24 of maybe 28 or 29 guys worked out on our campus with our coaches. 25 of 28 guys were multi-sport athletes, 13 different states, #1 player in maybe 4 or 5 different states. But more important than all that is the kind of kids they are. I'm excited to get them to come in and work. I saw KJ play one night, and he had a defensive touchdown, a kickoff return touchdown, a running touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. And I don't know that I've ever, witnessed that and seen something like that in person, because he's a dynamic player.
Okay, 2 other big #1 guys on defense for Georgia. Break those down for us.
Yeah, Justin Williams, 5-star linebacker, #1 linebacker in the country. Think Roquan Smith, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, all those great NFL linebackers. None of them were as rated highly as a recruit as Justin Williams. 4.6 GPA, 4.40 on the field as well. This is guys that are going to be able to do it all. I don't know if he's going to play right away because of some of the freshmen they had played for them this year, but a guy that can absolutely help right away for Georgia on special teams. And then Ellis Robinson, the #1 cornerback in the country as well for Georgia, 5-star prospect, IMG Academy, already on campus practicing with Georgia ahead of the bowl game. Obviously, he can't play against Florida State, but when you look at what he brings to the table, Kirby Smart highlighted his length in particular, a guy that can come in and make a difference wide array for Georgia, especially if Kamari Lassiter ends up going pro and heading on to the NFL draft.
Obviously, there's so many #1 guys and big guys in this Georgia signing class that we're not even going to be able to get to every single one of them. I'm sorry if we're missing your favorite player. One group of guys Smart talked about was the offensive line. It made the rounds on social media how big this group is. Maybe a little bit too big in Smart's words. Take a listen.
Yeah, Collier Madaleno is going to need a raise because she's in charge of our nutrition, and she's got her work cut out for her based on some of these weights that are probably not even accurate, to be honest. I mean, let's call it what it is. Some of these guys are too heavy, and they'll be the first to say it. They think heavy is good, but how many 350-plus offensive linemen have started at Georgia that y'all know of? I can't think of one. I can't think of one guy that's been 350-plus. I can't think of a guy that's been 345-plus. So whatever they are, they're going to have to reel it in to be successful. So everybody can print all the big is better they want, but if they don't lose weight, they won't play.
But overall, how big is those additions to the offensive line for this Georgia group?
Yes, Jeff. Georgia has found the beef when it comes to this offensive line class. The average offensive lineman in this class of the 6 that they signed, 6'6", 345 pounds. Now, as you heard Kirby Smart mention there, they've got to lose a little bit of weight, reshape their bodies a little bit. That's not too uncommon for guys coming in. Of the Georgia offensive linemen they signed last year, 4 of the 5 didn't play a game this year. But it's clear, you can't teach size, and Georgia clearly values that in this recruiting class. Guy I really like, Daniel Calhoun, nearly led Walton High School to a state championship this year. This guy is a massive player that I think has a Tate Ratledge-like ability, who can play guard or tackle moving forward. It's not the greatest offensive line class overall this year in terms of top-end talent, but Georgia went out and got big bodies, and I think at the end of the day, it got better on the offensive line.
Now, at running back, Dejon Edwards was big for Georgia this year. Kendall Milton picked up steam as the season went on, but running back was a situation where Georgia was kind of wondering, okay, where do we go from here? What did you see as far as who Georgia picked up at running back?
Yeah, they go out and they sign 3 running backs today. Nate Frazier out of Compton, California, plays for Powerhouse Mater Dei High School at their same high school that produced Bryce Young. Dwight Phillips, a local kid who played at Pebblebrook High School, and Chauncey Bowens, a big bruising running back for Florida. I think all 3 of these running backs can do something a little bit different here. Frazier, the highest rated of the 3, and I think a guy who's maybe got a similar game to like DeAndre Swift per se. with Kendall and Dejon potentially moving on, someone from that running back room is going to have an opportunity, I think, to come in and play right away next year. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Frazier making big plays in the stadium behind us as a true freshman next year.
That's why I love this backdrop. We can just reference it right there, and it's so easy. Just your overall gut instinct, gut reaction to this offensive the offensive signings for Georgia.
Yeah, I think this is a really strong class. Obviously, you know, Dylan Raiola officially signs with Nebraska today, but they really like with what they have in quarterback and Ryan Puglisi, who's not going to be asked to come in and play right away. But you just look at the raw numbers that they bring in: 6 offensive linemen, 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 out of the transfer portal in London Humphreys, and they're not done in the transfer portal yet. They just need more bodies, and Kirby Smart talks about the importance of depth so much. They absolutely get that on this offensive side of the ball. And with what we've seen from Georgia and their ability to identify talent and develop, as Kirby Smart touched on today, they feel pretty confident in the players they're bringing in.
One more quick one for you. What are your thoughts on Carson Beck announcing he will play in the Orange Bowl and he will come back to play right here next season?
I think it's huge for Georgia. I think this sets them up to win a national championship next year. Obviously, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen. But with what he showed in his first season as a starter, the thing that comes to mind for me, you look at Joe Burrow, who I think Carson has followed a similar path in terms of getting the field. Waits 3 full years to be a starter, gets that first year as a starter. And I'm not saying he's going to become Joe Burrow and put up the numbers that he did in his second year as a starter at LSU. But there are a lot of similarities, I think, with the way the two of them play and with the weapons that Georgia's going to be able to put around Carson next year. I think we can see a very big leap in terms of the way he's able to play, which is saying something given this year he was an all-SEC level quarterback for the Bulldogs.
Good stuff coming for Georgia. Thanks to all of you for watching. Make sure you go to ajc.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel to find more videos just like this one.